mean, we've been playing Takamine for what? 8 years, 9 years?
Yeah.
And pretty much as long
I
as we've
mean,
been a band.
if not longer, though.
Well, true.
I
My first acoustic guitar was a
was
Takamine.
Takamine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
So for a long time, and they're workhorses.
Yeah.
I've been playing the same instrument pretty much for as long as we've been playing together because it just works its tail off, and it just, it can take a beating and keep on
Yeah.
going, and they just sound so good.
Yeah.
And for recording, for live, just it has everything that I need in a guitar.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The workhorse guitars. We take them all around the world, and we've played just a gajillion shows with them, and they hold up. And I love recording with them because I always think it's so funny. People are curious what it is. They're just like, man, that thing sounds really good, and they translate really well on microphones, and you just don't have to do a whole lot to them.
Yeah.
You just kind of play and do your thing, and it does the rest.
Yeah. So my pretty much my go-to is that one there. It's the TAN 45C, and I have had that guitar for I think about 8 years. It was one of my kind of first, because my first acoustic guitar was a Takamine, but my first professional one, I'm going to go out on the road and this is one I'm going to play. It's got the cool tube in it, which I love, and it is just it's like a part of me. It feels like my third arm, I think, most of the time, and I just love that guitar. I love the way it sounds. It's got so much warmth and so much low end to it, and I play a lot of slide as well, so I love the cutaway is a pretty important part for me as well. And we also just got a couple of the thin lines, which are really, really cool.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I feel like we have our go-tos where they're how we feel comfortable on stage. I play the P5NC, which is also back there, and I don't know, it's still got the stock pickup in it. Everything was just, I just liked what it did.
Yeah,
and
right
I
from
think,
out of the case.
especially with our dynamic and what we do, I'm quite percussive. So are you, but just really percussive on it. I beat it really hard, and it holds up.
I think 100% they are such road workers, and I never am too worried, bringing it on a plane. We always try and carry them on when we can, but I'm never too worried about it because I just, I've seen what I put it through, and I know that it can kind of handle that, and so I think I know I can pull it out of the case after a flight to the UK, and I'll tune it up and it'll be still great.
Yeah, and I mean, there's something to just guitars being able to handle the intensity of a show, whereas it gets banged around on planes and on buses and things like that throughout just the travel where it's rattling around, and when you can kind of just pull it out of the case, plug it in, especially if you're running late to a sound check or something, and you don't have time to mess around with it,
right? And
it's there. It's it's going to be on, and it's just a worry that you don't have to think about.
Yep.
And then we get pretty intense in our shows, where we're just usually by 3/4 of the way through, and if it's going well, and you're just kind of pounding on it and just going kind of nuts, not even worried about it, and it survives all that. Yeah, it's very nice not having to worry about that, and just knowing that it's going to show up tomorrow and do what it's supposed to do.
Yep.